We don't shy away from difficult topics on headlines and fine print, so today we're going to talk about the government shutdown and the impact on consumers. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Headlines and Fine Print, the show where we don't just skim the headlines, we dig deep into the fine print. I'm Dion Williams, President and CEO at Piedmont Advantage Credit Union, and I'm glad you're here. Just as a reminder, before we start today's show, we have the show archived on YouTube and Spotify if you'd like to learn more or listen to past episodes. Also, I'd like to encourage you to like and share if you're so inclined. Without further ado, let's talk about today's topic, again, which is the impact of the government shutdown on consumers. So it's important to be able to stay afloat financially when the bills don't stop, but the paycheck does. And let's kick off this discussion with communications. From the credit union perspective, when something happens, we don't view it through a one-size-fits-all lens. Unfortunately, we've had too much experience with this in recent years, from the pandemic to the hurricane in 2024, and now there's the government shutdown. These have had a profound impact on the lives of some of our members. And the common thread in all of this is that we take the individual needs of the member into account, and we tailor the solution to what those individual needs are. So let's take a moment to talk about what those individual needs look like. So let's begin by prioritizing essential expenses. So that's generally going to include the roof over your head, transportation, putting food on the table, and keeping the lights on. If you lease your home, be sure to have a conversation with your landlord, and the sooner the better. Perhaps your landlord will allow an extension or to break up your payment into 2 or 3 parts. And if you have a mortgage, again, have the conversation as soon as possible with the lender. Believe me, financial institutions would much rather for you to remain in your home. Be transparent about your circumstances and have a conversation about what options best fit your individual and family needs. Now, utility companies, they often offer hardship programs or payment plans, or they'll delay your payment if you have a hardship. So the shutdown's impacting lots of people, and providers are aware of that, and they're ready to have those conversations with you to see what solutions best fit your individual needs. So let's recap this portion of the program by reiterating the importance of communications, and do it sooner rather than later. I know I'm repetitive on that, but it's so important. Don't wait until you've missed a payment. Get ahead of this conversation so you can protect your credit by doing so. Okay, so we've talked about communications, and now let's bring this conversation towards emergency resources. If you've listened to this program in the past, you've heard me mention a lot about the importance of an emergency fund, and that's having 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside for an emergency such as this. So now's the time, if you have the established reserves, to tap them to make sure that you can make ends meet until the shutdown is over. And we talked specifically about mortgage loans earlier, but talk with other lenders and creditors about loans. Perhaps an extension can be granted to get you through this difficult time, or maybe a loan can be refinanced and additional funds extended to you to get you through the shutdown. And last but not least, lenders may offer emergency loans at low or 0% interest during a crisis situation such as this. So I know we're kind of coming back again full circle to communications, but everybody has unique needs, and those needs and circumstances must be taken into account when arriving at a solution that best fits your individual or family situation. Now, understandably, there's a lot of pride in working and a lot of pride in not being able to ask for help. But now's a time when assistance may really be needed. There's lots of local nonprofits, food banks in communities, churches. They can assist during these challenging times. And if you have kids, their school may have meal programs that continue regardless of income status. So let's do a quick recap on emergency resources. Your emergency fund is a good starting place, but after that, have those conversations with your creditors and consider community resources that are available to get you through this time. And one resource may not be the answer. It may be a combination of a number of resources we've discussed already on today's program. So let's talk about temporary work. work. There's never a good time for a shutdown, but with this shutdown being such close proximity to the holiday season, there may be some opportunities for seasonal work to provide some income to get you through. And something we've also talked about in a different program is if you have a hobby, maybe that's something you can monetize to add some extra income to your budget during the shutdown period. But the operative word is temporary in that it bridges the gap between the shutdown and the resumption of life as it was prior to the shutdown. Let's talk a little bit more about expenses. It's understood that no one wants to talk about cuts, but let's consider some practical options that may be able to get you through this period. So in a previous episode on budgeting, we talked about subscriptions. It's a good idea to review those periodically anyway, because those can kind of get out of hand. We forget about what we have or don't have, what we're using, what we're not using, but be sure to cancel unwanted or infrequently utilized subscriptions. Those dollars add up. And perhaps you can pause those subscriptions or temporarily cancel them if it's something that you would want longer term. But if it's something you're paying for and you're not using it, just cancel it outright and put that money back in your pocket right now when it's needed. Also, cooking at home versus dining out can be a less expensive and healthier option to consider. And last but not least, delay big purchases, whether it's a vacation or a big ticket item. Put that off until there's more certainty in your finances. So as we wrap up today's program, the shutdown has undoubtedly been a stressful time. The good news is that shutdowns are temporary, though this one has been going on longer than past ones, and I think we're all ready for this to be resolved. But keep in mind that every situation is unique, and the solution may be a combination of ideas we've talked about today. Remember, there's community resources here to help, and creditors welcome conversations to discuss your needs and solutions to address those needs. There have been a variety of challenges in recent years, and one thing that continues to impress me is the resilience of people and communities coming together to meet and overcome those challenges. And it goes without saying that your credit union, Piedmont Advantage Credit Union, is here for you, so don't hesitate to reach out to us and let us know how we can help you during this stressful time. Thanks so much for tuning in to Headlines in Fine Print. Don't forget to follow Headlines in Fine Print wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, keep pushing past the headlines and lean into the fine print where the story lives. Have a great day.